Take this as your last chance.
The longest duration she has attended rehab was a 60-day period. If her use of alcohol should continue, that she will develop cirrhosis and it will kill her.
I have my own DBA. I've been working a lot since I've been released.
He's in one of the best positions in his life.
If you're going to mess this one up, we're not going to wait.
These two people have a daughter who's been in foster care for a year now. Foster care is never ideal, but it was the best solution because mom is a raging alcoholic and dad was incarcerated for a domestic violence incident involving mom. Dad is doing much better now. All the professionals who deal with dad on a regular basis sing his praises, and his demeanor throughout this hearing echoed their testimony. He's found stability and responsibility, and he's ready to inch toward custody. Mom, on the other hand, is at a crossroads. She has a choice to make, her liver or her daughter. She's late to the party, having missed the previous court date, and her parental rights hang in the balance. Let's roll, nerds.
I am the foster care case manager for this case.
Who are the parents of Genevieve?
Victoria Dort is the biological mother, and Christopher Roll is the biological father.
Let's talk about mom. She's been in the hospital a lot, likely due to alcohol consumption.
Yes, the majority of the month of September, she was in and out of hospital, admitted to the hospital several times. She is currently in the hospital as well. She returned there on Sunday. She has had an ongoing medical crisis as of late related to the alcohol consumption. That is the primary concern as of right now.
Has Ms. Dort expressed an interest of going to a long-term rehab up in the Sioux?
She has in the past. She has been a bit hesitant. I believe the longest duration she has attended rehab was a 60-day period in Sault Ste. Marie. However, following her discharge from the hospital in Traverse City, prior to the hospital in Gaylord, where she is now, we did spend a significant amount of time together trying to make arrangements so that she could go directly to a rehab facility in Sault Ste. Marie, and she has agreed to go for a 6-month. Her exact words were, "I will go as long as they allow."
How long have you been involved with this case?
I became the case manager on this case back in the beginning of May, I believe.
Have you seen a seriousness about Miss Dort that maybe you see now that you haven't?
I do believe that due to some other situational circumstances that have changed as of late, in addition to the direct advice from the doctor in Traverse City stating that if her use of alcohol should continue, that she will develop cirrhosis and it will kill her. I believe that served as quite a scary wake-up call.
Is there a new boyfriend that may really not be the best help for Miss Dort?
Yes, she is in a current relationship with a man named Josh Miley. It was relayed to me from Otsego County jail staff and corrections officers during one of my visits to see Chris in the facility that he has, their exact terminology was an assaultive history. I have asked for his driver's license. I met him last week and I asked him, he told me that he doesn't have it, he lost it. I would like to obtain his date of birth to be able to run his background and clear him. They had been residing together. However, it had been denied previously. The issue of domestic discord and physical abuse had been brought up and suspected by me and fellow agency staff. There have been several times where Victoria has shown up for parenting visits with swollen black eyes or various different other bruises on her body. The different reasons for why these occurred wasn't quite adding up. So the suspicion was there, but it was not, whenever it was approached with Victoria, it was not something that was substantiated.
He's not very helpful when it comes to abstinence from alcohol either.
No, he suffers from the same substance abuse problems with alcohol. I will note, though, a recent eviction took place, and so that is one of the contributing factors to the change of circumstances that I believe it may change the way Victoria is able to succeed.
So does mom have a bond with Genevieve when she has attended parenting time?
She does, and she is attentive to her needs. She is very attentive to whether or not Genevieve needs her diaper changed, attentive to encouraging the ongoing potty training that's taking place in the foster home. Genevieve is content and comfortable and happy when she's around her mom. She is upset and sad when she finds out she's not going to be able to see her mother. So yes, they do have a close bond.
I'd like to switch over to Christopher Roll, the father. He's been making some good progress for reunification. Do I got that right?
Yes, I'm very impressed with the progress that Chris has made. Again, he did recently spend about a 3-month stay in Otsego County for a domestic violence charge that he had gotten while he was, and that the incident that occurred was when he was still in a relationship, and Victoria, Chris were still seeing each other. I have no reason to believe that that is ongoing. The protection order is still in place as far as I know. However, there have been changes to Chris's life circumstances that I believe have had a significant impact on him. He has been 100% compliant, 100% participation in all services and parenting visits. Yes.
He is in a new relationship, and it is a sober relationship.
That is correct. We obtained the driver's license from, her name is Christina Freeman. I have met her in person in the new rental home that they share.
Isn't Mr. Roll going to graduate from the work camp by?
Yes. Last time I spoke with Chris, I believe it's coming up within the next week or so. He should be finished with that. He has not had any drug screenings return positive. He has been very compliant with those. We are trying to do them at least 2 to 3 times a week. All of them, no substances detected. Chris's new domestic relationship does not show any signs that would be a red flag for concern regarding any substance use. I believe that has had a positive impact on him. Between the conversations that we've had and the behavior that he's exhibited, he has stated that he will always care about Victoria, that she's the mother of his child, and that he hopes that someday that she can come to the same realizations that he has and make the same effort that is ongoing with him right now to get Genevieve back. But as of right now, he is not worried about talking or seeing Victoria. He's focusing on himself and his own growth, which is a positive change as well. It's my opinion he's probably in one of the best positions in his life he's been in for a long time. Chris is very attentive to his daughter's needs. The love between he and his daughter is very evident. He goes above and beyond the scheduled parenting visitation that is currently in place. He has provided Genevieve's foster parent with a separate cell phone, which he accommodates paying for the minutes to be refilled so that he is able to call her and tell her good night. When he was incarcerated, he continued doing that every night to tell her good night. Even if it was Genevieve's attention span only lasted 2 minutes, he still did that. Genevieve loves her dad. She gets very excited to see him because of the recent progress. Whenever Chris does complete his work camp, an extension to the amount of time that he is currently seeing Genevieve on Tuesdays and Thursdays will be considered and likely implemented. The significant changes in Victoria's circumstance should be considered, allowing her maybe another 90-day period to be able to take her substance use concerns into consideration and address them properly. I know that she missed the hearing 3 months ago back in July. She was not in attendance and had not spoken with her attorney. It was during that time, I know that the court was very displeased, but I do believe that this might be one of the first times that we are able to see some real change.
It's my understanding that right now the visits with Mr. Roll are supervised. Is that correct?
That is correct. His current domestic partner's ID and so her criminal background registry, sexual registry, all of that is currently going through our licensing phase for clearance. Chris and I have discussed the intention to seek approval for her to be a supervisee so that we can begin some supervised visits in the community setting, which would allow for Genevieve to start to get to know Christina. And we have initiated the clearance necessary to do that.
And speaking to the foster mother, she stated that Genevieve was placed with her on August 28th, 2024. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is the biggest barrier between Mr. Roll having the child returned to him, is that the fact that he's just been incarcerated and you're waiting to see how his parenting skill develops? Is that what?
The recent release from incarceration, obviously that set him back a little bit, just because despite the many reports I got from Otsego County staff saying what a great inmate he was, how they have no concerns with him, he was actually granted several benefits or responsibilities because he was a trusted inmate. So So there's not really on paper, the fact that he was incarcerated still has to be factored in, even though in my personal opinion, he has already moved past that part.
And you stated for Ms. Dort that this is the first real change you've seen. Could you define what you mean by that?
She hasn't had the opportunity to show me the change, but the first willingness to make the commitments necessary to show real benefit. So the fact that she is willing and now, due to the eviction, is able, she doesn't have the obligations of a job or rent to attend a long-term rehab. I can see that effort is there, but I do think there's been a significant shift in her demeanor and her circumstances that may provide for a real commitment.
And you stated that her parenting visits have been sporadic.
Yes, she had made some improvements in attending those, but over this reporting period, the times that she missed those were due to hospital stays.
Okay, so you would say that her improvement was interrupted by the hospital stays.
Correct.
Mr. Delaney, any witnesses or evidence?
Thank you. Christopher, it's my understanding that under work camp, you are allowed some employment. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I have been
And so when does the work camp end?
the 27th of this month.
Okay. And so in any event, even though it's going to be ending soon, you're not prohibited from working. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then when it is done, you'll continue to work for the landlord?
Yes.
Is it full-time?
For the most part, yes.
Okay. And are you doing work?
I do take on other jobs too, besides just for my landlord. I have my own DBA. I've been working a lot since I've been released.
Financially, you think you'll be in a position to support Genevieve?
Absolutely.
I have no further questions.
So what does your DBA represent? What type of work do you do?
I'm a handyman.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other witnesses or evidence, Mr. Delaney?
No, thank you.
Mr. Brown, witnesses or evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Hansel, witnesses or evidence?
No, sir.
Closing statements, Mr. Sommerfeld.
Ms. Wright is looking for supervised parenting time with a designee for Mr. Roll. That's the new person in his life that sounds like she's checking out. Looks like he's making some progress. This criminal issue that he has been hanging over his head for really the whole case. So I think Ms. Wright is just taking a cautious approach. I would hope that Mom, after being told what she's doing, she could end up dead. I hope that she does something about it. Sounds like she may want to do it this time. And I like this idea too, going directly from the hospital to the inpatient. Victoria, if you need to take care of yourself, you have a little girl that's looking for you. You can do this. You just need some help, but you got to stick out with it. And I really hope that you do. We're asking to keep the case open for 90 days, Judge. That allows Mr. Roll to demonstrate continued progress, again, outside from incarceration. All things look really good. And also to give Ms. Dort an opportunity. I hope she comes back here in 90 days and says, yeah, I'm still at rehab. I'm learning a whole lot, Judge. And if she does something like that, the department will be asking, well, we got to give her some more time, Judge. The only person who can do that is Ms. Dort, and I hope that she does. Genevieve's in a good placement. I would ask that continue. I really like the dedication of Chris Roll. Even incarceration, he still calls his daughter, saying goodnight. I think that shows a level of commitment here that is helping him through other issues he may have where he's making her the priority. And I would ask that continue.
Mr. Delaney, closing statement.
And often you can tell by the demeanor of parties how they're doing. And Christopher looks like he's doing much, much better. Very calm here today, very in control. And I think that that's going to continue for him.
Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm not going to rehash the whole history of this case, but it has not been a good one for Victoria. This is actually one of the first times that I think there is some hope and there's some positivity here. Sad that it took this long to get there, but Ms. Wright seems to think that there have been some serious changes, that she is ready to do this. And quite honestly, this is where the real hard work is going to begin. And based on the history of this case, kind of where the rubber meets the road.
Ms. Hansel.
Yes, Your Honor. While in visiting with the child, well-adjusted, smart little girl, a happy little girl, because she's been in foster care for roughly 1/3 of her life. I do attribute that to the foster mother, actually, but I do believe that she does have a bond with her parents. She's very talkative about her father. Now, I do hope that they are taking these matters seriously. They do get in line and are good parents to this little girl because she's growing up under the care of someone else. I know that they love her, but it's just time for adults to get in line and look out for the best interests of the daughter.
It's not very often that I hear the words above and beyond in relation to dads in my court. So I want to say congratulations to you on the time and effort that you put into focusing on your daughter. It tells me that sooner rather than later, you're going to have your daughter home with you. And I will be pleased to be able to say that sooner rather than later. So keep up the good work. The fact that you said goodnight to your daughter from jail sounds a little strange, but it does tell me how much she means to you when you did that. And the fact that you have already prepared a bedroom for her and that you're making plans in the home with your current partner for that gives me real hope to believe that this is going to work out. Continue to do well. Understandably, because of your past history, they need to take a look at you for a while you're out. I think you know that. I think you understand that. So I don't see that as a barrier that's going to be there for long. I think everybody is anticipating that Genevieve will be home with you soon. Mom, I am pleasantly surprised at the revelation today that you now are willing to go do rehab, hopefully begin a new chapter. If I didn't get that information today, I was anticipating that we would be filing a termination of parental rights petition against you very soon. So know this, I am not opposed to what you're proposing. In fact, I'm very pleased that you now are saying I need to rehab. I think kids need both a mom and a dad in their life as much as humanly possible. It would be a bad thing if you were not in Genevieve's life. But the way that you have been acting, the amount of substance abuse and the lack of participation with your daughter was sending you down the road towards you were not going to be in her life. So take this as a wake-up call, but also take this as really your last chance. I wish you well. I truly do. I think everybody here wants you involved in Genevieve's life. I think there are some things that you can do, much like Dad did, to stay in contact with her, but personal touch is not going to be there. But I think that's necessary for you to deal with all of the issues that you have to get right so that when you do come back, you can jump right in with both feet. And I'm anticipating that that's what's going to happen. But I had to say specifically to you, if you're going to mess this one up, we're not going to wait. I don't mean that as a threat in any way. I simply wanted to be honest with you and let you know how important this last chance is for you. So I will follow the recommendations. We will keep the goal as reunification because I do believe that that's appropriate and in Genevieve's best interest. Genevieve will remain placed under the care and custody of the department and Wellspring. We will require Victoria to complete a psychological evaluation and to apply with and complete the substance abuse treatment program that she's trying to get into. Obviously, if it breaks down, if it's not your fault, we'll try to get you in a different one. I'm not going to penalize you for that, but I want you to get into a long-term inpatient rehab program. The longer, the better, and we'll give you every opportunity to successfully complete that. We will keep the parenting time as supervised at DHHS's discretion. I will give DHHS discretion to appoint a designee for supervisor as well, as I think that's an appropriate way to deal with Dad because he's doing such a good job otherwise. And then I will also continue discretion regarding the alteration of parenting time, parent visitation based on progress towards the parent agency treatment plan goals.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely, sir. Go ahead.
So as of this court hearing, I'm at the understanding that she is being evicted and going to rehab right after her hospital stay. I hope that possibly I could hold on to our son's ashes while she's in rehab. I don't know if she'd be opposed to that or not, but.
Why don't we have Mr. Brown talk with her about that and he can get an answer back to you sooner rather than later. Would that be sufficient, Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll do it that way if you don't mind, Mr. Roll.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
All right, that's what we'll do then. Thank you all very much. That's all for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just wanted to add really quick, I did talk to insurance and everything today, and I am set up to go tomorrow to be there at 1 o'clock.